Hello and welcome. We are here with Joe Nasser from Saramonic. Joe, you are on camera. Say hello.
How you doing? Thank you for having me today.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, it's some crazy times. I'm just going to adjust my camera a little bit. Um, yeah, so Saramonic. First of all, how before we get into all of Saramonic and stuff, how are you doing?
Going crazy. It's nice that we live in the house so we can go outside and stuff, but you'll probably hear kids running around upstairs. I got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old,
Uh huh.
and they are maddening to say the least when you're around them 24 hours a day. But I love them to death. But it's a challenge working, doing videos, doing conferences at work. It's difficult, but we're surviving.
Yeah, yeah, us too. It's been yeah, it's the craziest thing that I've seen in my life. That's for sure. I can't. I keep imagining what the new normal is, and I. Anyways, without getting into philosophy, I feel like this is a new normal.
Yeah.
Anyways, Saramonic. Saramonic is a brand that I've seen at trade shows for years. It's not a new brand, right?
We've been around since 2014. I've been with the brand since late 2018, and we have a VP that came from a major manufacturer who's been around about the same time. So we took it over in the US in 2018, and actually been changing the direction a little bit and working on refining the products and elevating the product line where we can. We are certainly a line that deals with inexpensive solutions, but also I think we deal with some really unique solutions. And today, especially, we're getting a lot of activity because these solutions cover a wide gamut from smartphones to tablets to computers. It's definitely a cool brand. It's an interesting brand, and of course we're building up that name in the U.S. and it's working out quite nicely.
Yeah, I have to say, everybody since this lockdown has started needs to get audio into their iDevices, into their laptops. Um, Not just people, doing Zoom conferences, but broadcasters.
Yeah.
And Saramonic offers some really unique solutions. Can you talk to us about some of those?
Certainly. Right now, I'm actually talking through a Smart Rig Plus D. This is actually the UC that I have that's going into my MacBook Pro via USB-C. While it's designed for smart products like tablets and smartphones, it works right into my computer via USB-C. So I'm mixing between now I have a shotgun microphone right above my head, and now I'm talking through my lavalier. So I'm
All right,
mixing
wait.
between. Oh,
The lav. I have to say, if there's gain adjustment to be had, if you
my
can,
apologies.
that's all right. No, no,
I
no.
went a little high because I had my mark here. I thought it was on camera. That I looked down. I'm connected to my lab. So my apologies. Now I'm switched between the lab
Uh huh.
and then of course now the back to the shotgun. So it allows you to put in multiple things into your device, multiple professional sources. It's got XLR inputs as well as quarter-inch inputs and mini plug inputs with plug-in power and phantom power as well. So I apologize about jacking you up with the the lab. I had the wrong piece connected there, but just to give you a couple different a couple different things that we got. This is the UC version. This is the DI version, which is of course Lightning. The UC is USB C, and then of
Mm-hmm.
course we have the standard Smart Mic Plus, which is TRRS connector, which switches from TRS to TRRS with just a little flip of the button. So we're getting a lot of heat on these, mainly because people like myself who are doing Zoom chats or Zoom meetings or even live streaming events. They need these types of solutions to get into their smart devices as well as their computers. So these are really cool little pieces and fairly inexpensive for what they do.
And so they have XLR inputs, mic preamps,
Mm-hmm.
and phantom power.
Yes, sir. And plug-in power on the mini plug inputs. So you can plug in a
Whoa.
like I have an on-camera microphone above, and so you can it's a plug-in power only. So I can power that. I can power phantom power to my shotgun, or just do it passive and not passive, but actually just use the microphone preamps and turn the phantom off, and go with wireless systems or powered microphones as well.
Wow. And I'm sorry, I was a little distracted. Tell me about the output options. I can go into a iDevice I saw.
Yes, we have the DI, which goes to Lightning,
Mm-hmm.
and of course we have the UC, which I'm using right now, which goes to USB-C. So I have
And
people using this with the iPad Pro. I'm using it right now with my MacBook Pro. Any type of computer with USB-C, or my Android smartphone, tablets as well.
and those are two separate models.
Yes, sir. The UC is the USB-C. The
Mm-hmm.
DI is the Lightning, and then of course is the standard, which goes to TRRS and has a switch between it, so you can go from camera to smart device.
Oh, wow.
The cool thing about this as well, especially now, is I can plug this into the headphone port on my computer
Uh huh.
and actually be able to monitor from the headphone output and be able to plug in two microphones and mix between them and have level controls and be able to hear back the conference. I'm not using that today. I'm using just my ear pods, but
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty darn cool. Not only that, you have the two pre's, with either quarter inch or XLRs, and you have the mini plug inputs. You can actually plug in four mics to this. You're not going to be able to control the levels of four mics, but I can actually plug in four mics in a pinch.
And they
I have a lot
sum.
of guys.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I
And
have a
they
lot of
sum.
guys
Yeah, yeah,
doing.
yeah.
So I'm sorry, we got a little bit of delay. What were you
Yeah, I'm
saying?
sorry. No, no, no. No, they sum. They sum all the audio inputs. But yeah, it's great. Go on. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Yeah. I have a lot of guys doing fitness. For instance, I had a gentleman actually. He what he wanted to do was have a wireless microphone on himself while he's doing his fitness routine, as well as have the music play. So he has the record output of the mixer with the music going into one input, and then and of course his voice going into the other. So he's doing his routine on the ground. They hear the music, and it's just like they're in the studio with them.
Uh huh. All right. We have. I see. We have some comments, but no, that's us putting links. Oh, that's really good. We're putting links in the comment stream.
Thank you.
Awesome. So that solves a lot of problems. We've had so many people call us about that device or that series of devices, and like I said, including major networks. It's really it fills a niche because it's not easy getting professional stuff into these products. What
Yeah.
what else? What else do you have?
We have also something called the Smart V2M, which I have actually on the shelf behind me. But what it is a little hockey puck, and it allows you to plug in two lavalier microphones into it. It comes with two lavaliers, but it'll take really our lavaliers that come with it, or the or lavaliers from Sennheiser or Rode, wired for that standard, and you can input that to your smartphone via the USB-C or Lightning, or to your computer via USB-A. And these are great for people who are doing interviews on the street, not on the street, but like out and about, as well as people who are doing conferences in their home or in their office. So that's a pretty cool little device for $350. It gives you a little interface about the size of a half hockey puck, headphone outputs, and two microphone inputs. And of course, it comes with two lavaliers, but you can really put some high-end lavaliers or headsets or whatever type of microphones, goosenecks, as long as they terminate at 3.5 millimeter Sennheiser and Rode wiring.
Wow, and that's one product that gives you all of those options.
Yes, sir. I could certainly pull it down to show it to you. But in the meantime, before I do that, we also
Yeah.
have the what's selling a lot as well is this is more on the consumer type end for the vloggers and stuff like that. But a lot of guys are using this in this time. The Blink system, and this is the DI receiver, and this is the UC receiver, and of course we have the transmitters, which are the little belt packs, and they come with standard lavaliers as well. But the cool thing about these receivers is they plug the UC receiver I have in my hand can plug into my smartphone,
Mm-hmm.
or it can plug into my laptop via USB-C. Obviously, the DI version plugs into iPhones and iPads, and we're getting a lot of interest in these because people want to be able to do live streams. I have a lot of churches and stuff with limited budget, but they want to be able to just do their service into a cell phone and stream it to Facebook Live or to whatever platform they're using, and it allows them to use up to two microphones at one single time into their smartphone.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing. Hang on one second.
Certainly.
Uh-oh. I may lose audio. Bear with me for 1 second.
No problem.
I'm so sorry. Huh. Okay. I love doing live stuff. There we go. Um, okay. I think we're good. Good. Um, all right. Um, Tell me about that wireless because as you were showing it to me, I realized there's a whole bunch of people that need good audio but need it to be wireless. So I saw your presentation, but what kind of range, what kind of fidelity? I mean, how?
My apologies.
No,
Well, when it comes to range and fidelity, because it's 2.4 gigahertz, it's fairly line of sight. Within about 25 feet line of sight. I have people who actually try to hide the transmitter. That's not something you're going to want to do with these type of 2.4 gigahertz systems.
very
These are
good.
ones that need to be exposed. Like I have mine on my belt right here,
Hmm.
fully exposed, and the receiver is over here. I had a preacher who actually had it under his robe, and he was having a little bit of an issue. I was like, "Well, you can't have it under your robe because that blocks it." For something like that, obviously, you know very well you want to go UHF. The the transmission is significantly smaller than a UHF system. Is of course is not as powerful, but for vloggers, people right in front of the camera, people like myself, if I was doing a meeting, I could plug in the UC recorder, or sorry, the UC receiver into my laptop, walk around the room, and do my meeting as normal. But if I'm going to go around walls, that's not going to cut it, and that's just a limitation of these types of devices. But for people who are doing stuff fairly line of sight within about 25 to 30 feet, it's a very good option. There are three different receivers in the system. The the Blink 1 and 2 have the RX receiver, which is an on-camera receiver, as you can see with the clip right here. But it comes with both the TRS cable as well as the TRRS output cable. So you could output this to your computer via the headphone port, or your smartphone, or your tablet that has a headphone port, or certainly with a TRS camera to your DSLR and mirrorless camera and video cameras with mini plug inputs. So that's just one receiver. Then, of course, you have the DI receiver, which is the B3 and the B4 systems,
Hmm.
and this is Lightning to your iPhone and iPad with Lightning, and allows you to use two microphones as well. So that's the B3 and the B4 systems, and then the USB-C receiver, which actually goes to your smartphones and tablets with USB-C, as well as your computers with USB-C. So I
Got
can
it.
plug it right into my MacBook.
It seems like you guys have really thought about all the different options that people are going to need, and yeah, you would get it for your specific device, which is great. And I really appreciate your honesty and straightforwardness about the range. I mean, I think that's everybody's immediate question is, well, what kind of range? And yeah, 20 feet line of sight means line of sight, and that's what people, a lot of people need. They're not, especially when in these days where it's sort of one to a camera,
Yeah.
one person looking at a camera. That's what they need.
It's
Um,
about ease of use, and it's also about like the simplicity for most people who are just starting out on this. They don't really understand UHF system scanning frequencies and changing channels and
Absolutely.
setting levels. So it's for a different customer.
Horses for courses, I think, is the phrase. Um,
Exactly.
uh, Great. And you guys also make something that caught my eye, which is a kind of smartphone holder with a cold shoe on top.
Oh, sure. Actually, I wish I could show that to you, but right now it actually is holding my microphone right up here. I'll actually
Very
flip her on
fair.
the computer.
All right.
Actually, if I
Sorry.
do that, I might get
No, no, no.
disconnected.
But we'll put a link out and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's the SRBSP1, and then of course that's with the grip, and then
Hmm.
we have the 1C, which is actually just the clamp, so you can put it on your tripod, and that's kind of what I'm using up here is just the clamp because I needed a shoe on my Benro tripod behind me.
No, I know it's a super useful device.
Mm.
All right, and this stuff is in general available. Is it should we check with your retailer, check with us obviously before.
Check with your retailer, check with Gotham, of course, and of course, if Gotham does not have it in stock, we are doing drop ships directly from our distributor in New York. So our distributor is in New York, our support is in New York. A lot of the questions that come directly to me.
Hmm.
So I'm happy to help. And of course, if Gotham doesn't have it in stock, they can have it drop shipped right away.
We can drop ship it. Yeah, that's awesome. Joe, I have to say thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Is there anything you wanted to that we didn't cover?
Actually, one thing I wouldn't mind showing you because
Yeah.
I showed you the wireless systems for the smartphones, but also we have USB-C and Lightning microphones. This is the USB Smart Mic Plus. USB-C. Just pop it right on your phone like that. Don't read my emails.
Yeah.
But literally, I can go in front facing, or I can go in rear facing. So I can do it in selfie mode, or I can do it in an outward facing mode. This is great for people doing vlogging, and also like doing meetings and stuff like that. So I could focus in on myself and actually do quite a nice little video, but with much more directional sound. When you put this side by side to the on camera microphones, what you're going to get, of course, is much more directionality, much more focus, and much more distance. Is what a lot of people do need, because when you're doing, I have a lot of guys who are doing interviews remotely. My wife, for instance, is doing interviews remotely, or they're doing actors and actresses are still doing auditions remotely. This gives them a much better microphone, something they can just pop on their phone and do a great video right on the spot.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of different things out there for you, and Saramonic is really poised well for the smartphone, the computer market, as well as tablets, as of course cameras as well.
that's right. No, and we're super grateful that you guys are around and shipping and getting product out there. And it's really, yeah, it's been in the hands of a lot of people, broadcasters and just folks trying to get better audio. So thank you so much.
We appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
So yeah, any other questions? There's the link for the holder. Awesome. Any questions? I'm just looking at Facebook comments. I don't see any. But certainly keep them coming, and we'll forward them to you on people's behalfs. And yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you, and I apologize for blowing you out with my wireless system.
No,
I had my levels a bit off.
No, that's okay. This is all like a giant ship that we're just sort of like praying stays in the air. So on our part too. Thank you so much. And all right, be healthy, be safe. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much. Have a great one.
You too.